Press start.
You're listening to The Swingdom, the champion podcast of the year.
Champions!
28 clubs, 0 putts given, with your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to The Swingdom. My name is Ben. I play golf. It's the new year. Happy New Year. Happy Christmas. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm here with my best golfing buddy, Gunnar.
Hi.
Gunnar, do you also play golf?
I'm the big Swingdom logo on this.
He's just going to be the big Swingdom logo because I think it's just gonna it's a different computer. It's the camera's too good for it or something.
Yeah, the camera's too good. So the computer, it's an older computer, not a regular podcasting computer.
Yeah.
Because that is otherwise occupied. So
yeah,
I'm just going to be a big cartoon smiley thing with nice lettering.
Good.
But I do play golf.
You do play golf. When was the last time you played golf?
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
Then that time. One time.
I played my worst round and best round of golf this year on New Year's Day with Mug Dad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then shut down again? Oh.
That's Mug Dad's music. There you go.
That's Mug Dad music. 2021.
There was a thick layer of ice on the greens. And we were like, why are we missing these putts? And we were like, oh, that's right, because we're not very good.
Did you take advantage and use the adage, oh, it's like putting on a skating rink?
No, it was worse than that. It was like number one, like you putted, and because it was icy, like the ball just skidded across, like it didn't roll at all.
Right.
And then it did start rolling, but because it was like ice on top of grass, there was just bubbles everywhere.
Oh.
Like it wasn't smooth.
Oh.
It was like frosty iciness.
Oh, I see.
But it was still warm enough, so I didn't really feel bad on it because like the grass underneath wasn't frozen.
No, it was just
a
layer.
I didn't feel like I was killing the grass.
It was just an ice layer.
Yes.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit like if you had like a flavorless slush puppy and you just poured that all over the green.
Wow, a slush puppy.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was what it was. New Year's Day, shot worst round in a while. I'm excited to go back out to Orangutan and play better golf with or without Mug Dad. I guess we'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this week we're going to go over the news. There's a lot of news this week, and we're going to go over the Tournament of Championships. We're going to talk about the Sony Open at Waialae.
I'm going to say Waialae.
Waialae.
Country club.
Yeah.
I think it's Waialae in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Waialae. I'm just
Waialae.
You know me and names.
Yeah, I do know you in names.
Yeah. And I guess we'll go over our points from last week. We'll talk about who's hitting hot this week. And and we'll talk about everything in the Swingdom of golf. So thank you, citizens of the Swingdom, for tuning in. Mm-hmm. And it just sounded like we were going to say goodbye, but we're not. We're actually just saying hello.
Bye. Hello.
So news this week. I think the 3 biggest items of news.
Before we do the 3 biggest items of news, I have one small item of news that I have to talk about.
Okay.
On this here show.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to take you back to January 8th. Okay. Where a gentleman by the name of Kevin Pon, P-O-N, Kevin Pon, a golfer of sorts in Castro Valley, Oakland, California. Okay. There at Lake. Because it's Oakland, California, and I despise the place. American football related despise.
I was going to say because you're a Broncos fan and the Raiders are from there, not because you've ever been there and judged it for yourself.
I have no true judgment of the townspeople as they are referred to. Anyways, I'm going to say it's Lake Chabot. I know that's mispronounced.
Lake Chabot.
Yes. Golf course. Can you say that one more time?
Lake Chabot. I think it is Lake Cabot. CHABOTT or BBOTT.
CHABOT.
Chabot.
Yeah, sure.
Chabot.
That's what I'm gonna say it is. Anyways, their 18th hole is a 649-yard par 6. Okay. We have one of those. We have one of those here in Virginia. Okay, yeah. It's over 700 yards. It's par 6 at Meadows.
No big deal.
Meadows Farms Golf Club. No big deal. Yeah, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I've parred that hole before. I've parred it.
Yeah, easy. No big deal. But our friend Kevin Pon, again, Pon, on January of the 8th, okay. Recorded a condor that is in and two on a 6. It's the first officially recorded condor ever. A condor, if one were to explain, as I will, it's a hole-in-one on a par 5. It's never been recorded, or a hole-in-2 on a par 6. It's the first ever recorded. So shout out Kevin Pon, golfer, as it's listed here. Is that
actually a condor?
That is a condor, yeah, because it's 4 under the par of the hole.
Birdie, eagle, albatross, condor.
Yep, that's what it's called. So shout out. Well, I don't know.
Space shuttle. Like, what's bigger than a condor and flies? Pterodactyl. I'm in. Let's call it pterodactyl. Yeah, if you get a hole-in-one on a par 6, it's straight up pterodactyl.
Pterodactylian. Anyways, so shout out. It's the first ever officially recorded one. Boom shakalaka. That's my small bit of news.
Insanity.
Yeah.
Insanity.
In Lake, can you say it? Because I don't feel comfortable saying it the way you say it.
Chabat.
Yes. All right, let's go with the actual news.
The actual news this week. I
can't even.
I got to drink some coffee.
One more time.
The news this week.
Man, that's smooth.
There's no carbonation in that.
0. It's because it's in a Starbucks cup.
I'm going to go from like least important to most important.
Please do. I have an opinion about everything.
The PGA Tour cancels the 2022 PGA Tour, not the Tour Championship, but the PGA Championship, the Wanamaker Trophy, the major. They take it away from Trump Golf Course number 47.
Sure.
Which one was it?
It was Trump National something or other.
Yeah, but there's like 19 Trump Nationals. I can't believe
it's called Trump National Bedminster.
Oh, so it was. It's in New Jersey. It's his New Jersey course.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Bedminster, New Jersey, 07921. I grew up in 07712. So I was technically 200 zip codes better than Bedminster. We'll talk about that later.
Trash Bedminster.
So they came out after the unrest at the Capitol building.
Say what it was.
It's rioting.
It was rioting. It was a siege. People are dead, Ben.
People are dead. And
people are dead because of it. And yeah,
I just don't want to get.
I'm not getting into it. I'm just saying. Don't call it unrest.
You can get into it. I just don't want to get too political. But I feel like this is the first opportunity in a while where we sort of have to, because the PGA Tour, like, this is very clearly a political statement.
Yeah.
Like, the PGA Tour isn't for sure. Like, yeah, very, like, the PGA Tour has had 3 years, 4 years, 5 years of Trump's flat out shenanigans.
Yep.
Not like, even if you include like the birther things before that, like it is close to like 8 to 10 years of Donald Trump sort of being a caricature of a human being in the political limelight. And like, I'm upset that it took the death of 5 people, 6 if you include the suicide of the DC police officer, because he didn't feel he did enough.
Mm-hmm.
Trump is still coming out and not calling it what it was, not taking any responsibility for it. Look, my feeling on it is the number one, like, when he became president, the PGA Tour should have distanced himself from him regardless.
Well, he's a money guy, so they didn't.
Yeah.
The PGA Tour, we all know this. Golf is a posh sport. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like polo. You think, yeah, don't polo. It's right. It's almost there. Like, let's take
almost. I would say almost.
Let's take here. I'm going to put them in 3. All right. Worst to best. Okay. Fox hunting, polo, golf. Those are your from most.
There are a lot
snobby.
more horse-related sports that I would put above golf.
No. Dressage.
Like, you have show jumping. You've
show jumping is sick. Stop. Them horses are talented.
Yeah.
And you don't knock them.
So what are you trying to say? That golf is not as hard as show jumping?
I'm saying golf is the no. I'm saying worst to best in snobbiness. Fox hunting. Polo.
Oh, so fox hunting isn't
golf.
Snobby. If you have a horse, you can go fox hunting.
Dude, you're being involved in watching less snobby fox hunting than there is.
Nobody watches fox hunting. You either do it or you don't.
I've seen the TV show about them people in South Carolina, and they're snobby as hell, and they fox hunt. So
but that's like them playing the part. Like, if you go to the fox hunting,
I'm just telling you.
You do, that, like, within 10 miles of you, there are like 3 fox hunting groups.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm saying
you can go watch. Like, they
feel snobby. It feels snobby.
You got a horse, you drink on a horse, the horse chases another horse, and you're just out riding your horse for the day.
Least snobby sport, rugby. I've decided 100%. Maybe football.
I can't see your face, so it's really hard for me to see if you're joking or not.
I know this is the best part. Now I can say whatever and watch you react to it. I am mostly joking about this, but golf is a money game. We all know this. Let me get back to my point.
I was going to say, any game that originates in England is a snobby sport.
Now that I've strung you along on this journey of my perceived snobbiness.
Okay.
Golf is a money sport.
Yes.
Golf is very reluctant to separate itself from people who have a ton of money. And Donald Trump has a lot of golf courses and a lot of money. And Donald Trump makes golf a lot of money. He is a big player of golf, and it puts cameras on courses, and it brings golf forward into the atmosphere. This is too little too late. Well, I guess maybe it's enough too late. But you're right. It's something they should never have agreed upon in the first place. They should have said, hey, you're the president. We're going to back out because that's morally wrong to make you money in the end.
Well, that's why they set it up for 2022. So they were like this, so that they can have the built-in excuse that they didn't think he was going to win a second term and it's not directly related. My thing is that, like, 4 years ago when Trump says there are good people on both sides, and everybody steps away. Like, these things are like 8 to 10 years in the making. Like, I need to look up when did they announce that they were going to play? How many years in advance did they announce where they're going to play the PGA Championship? The PGA Championship. Because I imagine it's they announced 2027, so I think it's 6 or 7 years. So they probably announced this in 2013 or 14.
I don't know. I'm going to see if I can figure that out.
And so like you sort of have all this time. I understand that like it's a television show and you have to align yourself with the right people and make it look good from the outside in. And like this is a way for people with a lot of financial power, responsibility, who are taking a risk to get close to the president.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he's going to be there.
2014.
Yeah. So yeah, that's okay. So it's like 7 or 8 years in the making, and golf is not ever known and never will be known for being the bigger people first. Like when the NBA got rid of Sterling, like that was a huge step.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about this a little bit later when we go into the Tiger Woods documentary. But like golf has never ever been on, I don't want to say the right side of history because that's not true. I think golf does a lot of good for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that like we're specifically talking about, the people at the top of the mountain, like are like old rich dudes.
Yep.
Who live an old rich dude lifestyle.
Right. Yep.
And like want to think that like what they say matters to a guy like President Trump.
But it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't matter what they say.
It doesn't matter what anybody says to that guy. Like he just does what he does. And that's not like from a political standpoint. Like I honestly believe like he's just one of those guys who doesn't ask like the room around him what is appropriate.
Right. He does it. He's one of the, I like to live by this sometimes. Don't ask for forgiveness, apologize after. But that's when
no, that's not the saying. The saying is don't ask for permission. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission. Yeah. Don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness.
It doesn't matter what it is. I
know what you're saying, yeah.
I appreciate that. But not when it comes to the safety of an entire nation.
I mean, look, I think that this is a step in the right direction for golf. Do I think it's too late? Yes. But I also feel like what Tiger Woods has done over the last 20 years, and what Lee Elder did before him, and all the guys going back who broke the barriers.
Right.
I just like I understand the statement. I understand the sentiment. Ever since Tiger Woods has been involved in golf, like there's been a massive amount of growth in minority, whether it's people of color, women, LGBTQ community have been getting into golf, and to hold something like the PGA Championship at a place with Trump's name on it, I think is just
it's a severe moral oversight, is what it is.
And I think like I like, to me it looks like, because with the quickness that they did it, and with the like disregard for what they're actually contractedly, whatever they're obligated to do contractually. Like I think they've just been waiting for a way out.
Right.
They've
had their chances though.
I just don't understand why like a siege on the Capitol building, a Confederate flag going into the Hall of Congress, which didn't even happen during the Civil War, is an okay, like is the final straw.
Right. I saw a great thing that said, don't bring a Confederate flag or a Nazi flag into that Capitol building.
Yeah.
We have fought wars over this and we won both times.
Yeah.
Keep them out.
We'll win again.
We'll win. Again. We always win.
Okay. So that was a bit like, that's good. That's good. The next thing.
Yes.
Justin Thomas drops the F-bomb.
But not that F-bomb.
Not that F-bomb. A different F-bomb on, what was it, like the 16th hole a day on Saturday?
On Sunday.
No, it was Saturday.
On Saturday.
It was on Saturday because then he's like, well, I didn't win because I was like thinking about it all day on Sunday.
I wish my camera worked so you could see how disgusted I am.
Look, I'm going to build up Justin Thomas before I tear him down.
This is, to be clear, this is the homophobic F word.
Yes.
Not the general.
This is the word that rhymes with maggots.
This is not the general fun to use.
No, this is what people call cigarettes in the UK.
And they shouldn't, but
the technical term is a bundle of sticks. The etymology of this word is that you would, in private school, have like the freshmen go and like you would demean them by making them go get you cigarettes and making them like your servants.
We're not forgiving this word. We're explaining this.
No, this is the etymology of it. And like, because Isidore's explained this to me a bunch because we have friends who are homosexual, and this is like something that comes up, and it's sort of like, well, how is this word? Because in England, like I'm gonna go have a fag.
Yes, and we're using this in the cultural sense.
Like everybody I know in the UK calls cigarettes fags.
Right.
Like on a day-to-day basis. To the like it doesn't like they know the difference between a fag and the word that rhymes with schmaggot. But like on a day-to-day basis, it's like, hey man, I need a 5-minute break for a fag. And you're just like, cool, man. Like enjoy your smokes.
Right.
So like in the States, like it's so weird to hear that. Like I'm sure it's even weird for you to hear me say it right now.
It is very uncomfortable.
It's very weird for me to say, but like being here for a year now, the amount of people like where it like, and that, so like the etymology of it is like you would have a freshman roll or go get you cigarettes and he would become your servant. He would become your fag boy. And then
a very fine line.
This is the etymology. This is history.
I'm just telling you.
No, this is as
and it's
close to the line as you get. This is as close to the line you get. But this is historically accurate, and this is not something that like. But then it became the word that Justin Thomas used because like it was then a word to further demean these people who you treated like servants, who really were just looking up to you and wanted to be mentored in their like in this private institution. It's a bit like freshman hazing at any university. Like, and it should be dead, and it's pretty dead now, or it's at least a lot tamer than it used to be.
I am proud to say I did not go through hazing.
I didn't even go to college.
I went to a community college, and so there is no.
I went to a community college, and I was not hazed. I played hacky sack and acoustic guitar on the campus. We had a gazebo where I did smoke some cigarettes.
Maybe you, as did I. Maybe you were hazed behind your back.
I hope so. If I was, I probably deserved it.
That's the look you got right now. That's the look. I've been trying to figure out a look that you have right now. It's the acoustic guitar hacky sack guy look. That's what it is.
That's who I am. That's who I am right now. Sup, bro?
Yeah, sup.
What's up, bro? If you want to see what I look like, go to the YouTube page. Check us out on Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, wherever. So he drops this.
Out of anger, because he missed.
Out of anger and towards himself.
Towards the ball, I would say, but yes.
I thought the quote was, "I'm such a," not "you're such a," or like so that's what I thought.
Okay. Not great.
Not great. I'm 90-10 on this.
I'm 100 on this.
Like my 10 is okay. Let me. Can I change my numbers? I'm like 99.8.
Well,
and then like 0.2, because like if you're mad at yourself and this is something you say to yourself, like in a forum like this privately, you're trying to demean yourself and you're angry at sort of the situation you're in. I can understand the anger at yourself. What I can't forgive is the choice of word. The fact that you're being internationally televised.
Right. You know you are.
You
You're
know
the
you
biggest,
are.
You're one of the biggest players in the field.
You consider yourself to be a role model.
That's my biggest issue here.
To children and adults. Like I'm pretty sure I'm older than him, but I consider him a role model. I'd love to get a Ralph Lauren sponsorship deal and play golf all over the world. That'd be amazing.
The limelight that he's in, and the way he carries himself, he is that of a role model. He has handled that pressure extremely well. Until Saturday.
Like he just won 2 weeks ago playing with his dad.
Right.
Like you just want to, like, if he had said that on the course with his dad present, like I hope his dad would have just like taken his putter, broken it over his knee, and walked away.
And said, "Good luck, son."
Yeah. Like, you done messed up now.
You done messed up, Ron.
Yeah.
That it's look, I'm going to give you a rebuttal to your argument for the simple sake that if you choose to use that word to degrade yourself, then that only tells me that you have zero issue using that word to degrade the people in which it does degrade. I have a big problem when you choose to use that word.
Yes.
And I know you do too. I'm just the argument that, and there's a lot of apologists out there that we're too PC and that we're too cancel culture, and that, which I agree, it's cancel culture is, and this is my personal opinion. My opinion does not reflect our show.
To be fair, like, we want to hear your opinions as well. Like, this is a perfect opportunity for you to send the Swingdom an email. Please. Like, if you think that the PGA Tour should be at Trump National Bedminster, like, let us know. Like, we'd love to get like a concisely well-written email and be able to argue valid points on both sides.
My worst fear is that somebody hears what I say and says, "Yep, I agree." Because even if you don't, if I
love when people do that to me. I want everybody to do that all the time.
If what I say changes your opinion, then fine. But if you say, "Oh, well, they said it, so it must be okay," no, that's not necessarily true. Maybe we're on the wrong side of things sometimes. It's fine.
Yeah.
But my personal opinion is that if he chooses to use that word to degrade himself, he has no problem using it to degrade those people whom it offends.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of words that I say to myself that aren't all encompassing of a group of people. Children, cover your ears. My favorite thing to call myself is a dumbass. I love it. That's what I use. You're not going to hear me use the F word. I'm not homophobic. I'm not racist. I'm not going to call myself things that would degrade an entire culture of people. If I'm being stupid, then I will say that I'm being stupid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to say that like accidents don't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I've trained myself not to not to have those accidents happen. Like, I remember growing up and being like in high school and a few years after, and like I would say things were gay instead of calling them stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I moved to a metropolitan area and had friends who were homosexual, the first thing they did was like, "Hey, like
don't do that.
Like that's not what that means. If you want to say that's stupid, like that's a more clear and concise way of saying that." And I learned that the hard way. Look, I think I want to say is like the first thing I thought of, like when this came out that he had done this, the first thing I thought was like, well, he's from Kentucky and he went to school at Alabama. Like, this isn't a surprise.
I would agree with that.
I went straight, like I became like the northern elitist that I try really hard not to be.
You started defending regional culture.
Yeah. I was like, well, he graduated from Alabama. Like, I'm sure that's just what like bros call each other down there when they're mad.
Right.
And I was just like, well, that sucks. Like, remind me not to go there.
But that's also, case in point, it's still not okay, even if that's it's still not okay, even if that's culturally acceptable in your area. It's still not okay.
Yeah.
It's just not.
No, so that's what I'm saying. Is like the first thing I did was basically like say, like he is a product of his upbringing, which is like he went to, I think he went to like a Catholic high school in Kentucky, in Louisville, Kentucky, which is like the South.
The South.
Like Mitch McConnell territory.
Although
like,
Louisville's dope. They do have a cool place in Louisville.
And I'm sure it's getting better. Like I'm sure like it's a multicultural area that I should get to know better.
Yeah, they have the Louisville Slugger Museum.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, and then I was like, oh, that's right. Like he graduated from Alabama, and I was just sort of like, those are cultural, like significant areas where I was just sort of like, like sport is more important in those areas.
Yep.
Like Kentucky basketball and Alabama football. Like there's nothing more important in the, like you can get over every cultural difference with everybody else when you're in those stadiums. But like there are massive cultural divides in those two states when you're out on the road, like when you're out in the streets.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, I think I was just disappointed.
Yeah, it's a real shame. Shame on Justin Thomas for using the word. His apology was fine.
Yeah.
I think everybody can accept his apology, but
if he had dropped the other F-bomb, like it would have just been like another day on a golf course.
Absolutely.
Like the amount of cussing that happens on the PGA Tour that the announcers apologize for, like on a date, like the announcers apologize like 2 to 4 times in every PGA broadcast. Like, oh, the mic picked up.
Sorry about that, folks.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks. The mic picked that up. We couldn't scrub that fast enough. Yeah. Oh, that's Tiger again, dropping F-bombs.
Yep.
Like, but I think Tiger does it because he just doesn't want to be surrounded by everybody all the time. So he's like, the more I curse, the less camera time I get.
We curse all the time.
Yeah, we do. We try not to on the show because we want parents to be able to listen to it with their children.
Right. That's right.
Right, Dad?
Right, Dad. Oh, I'm the dad. You're right.
Yeah, you listen to it with Gavin all the time.
Right.
Yeah. So Justin Thomas, be better.
Be better.
Just be better.
Do better.
Just be better. All right. And the last really like big bit of news. Oh, well, let's go with the small bit of news before I go with the big bit of news. Christmas Day, we're a little bit late to this one. Christmas Day, the great white shark Greg Norman was admitted into the hospital.
With the vid.
Yes. 2-time British Open winner, never won a major on American soil. But he said it was the hardest thing he's ever had to do. Was get over the vid. He was hospitalized for I think a week.
I know.
So glad that he's getting better.
He's good now.
He's good. Glad that he's got good.
He got good. He got good.
Yeah. So that's brilliant. That's good. So that's good. Now on to the last bit of news.
Yes.
The new Tiger Woods documentary, it's just called Tiger. I watched it an hour ago, which is why I forget everything about the golf tournament this week when we talk about that next. Right. But
on HBO, right?
On HBO, I used my VPN thing, so it looked like I was in Washington, D.C. watching my Xfinity at home. ExpressVPN. They feel like sponsoring the show. I know they sponsor Tony.
Boom shakalaka.
Come out and sponsor us too, because I actually use your product.
Yeah, and we would love to hide our internet activity.
Yeah. I do not want my wife knowing what I shop for on eBay because it is
very suggestive.
It's not budget approved. What do you mean suggestive?
I don't want my wife to see what I buy. It's just very suggestive.
Oh, what I said was it's like what's the word I'm looking for? It's like Like the dude room. It's like like stuff for the shed, like beer stuff and golf stuff. And
I call so now that you've said that, I got to put a pin in this real
like
quick.
for the swingnasium.
The swingnasium. So I need a new name. Maybe our listeners can help. So we have a thing with all of our sports memorabilia.
Smort.
Smorts and sports. This is the recording studio.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'd like to call it the studio or the den. It's more of a den, right?
Yeah.
But everybody in my family refers to it as the man cave, which I don't like. I don't like that term.
Oh, that was the word. I was like, so eBay is for the man cave.
But see, I don't,
because it's like stuff I can't buy full price. Because if I bought it full price, you'd get really mad at me.
I need a new name for my space because I don't like to call it the man cave because everybody's welcome in here. Although it's all my stuff that my wife won't let me put up. So I put it in here.
Just call it the studio.
I'm going to just call it the studio. Thank you. I just need to call it the studio.
Like everybody calls this the studio. So I call it the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the lock is only on the outside of the door. There were bars on the windows. It's a tiny room that I've soundproofed a bit, but I just call it the dungeon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to call mine the studio.
The studio, yeah.
It's the studio soon, and I know I've been saying this for months. Soon, you will see all the sports memorabilia in the background, and I will hopefully be recording from a big, comfy chair. But I have to set up my space correctly. So
cool.
One day, I have the chair. It has stuff on it.
Nice.
I can use it. Yeah. So all right, on to the Tiger. Continue your Tiger Woods HBO documentary story because I didn't watch it and I want okay. It sounds to me like this is a tell-all story and a real rubbing of Tiger Woods. And I want to know if the backlash is worth it or if, because Tiger Woods' agent came out and said, this is not okay, blah, blah, blah. Tiger Woods hasn't said anything about it. He's in
not
it.
Going to.
I mean, so is this a clear look into Tiger Woods and Earl Woods' life, or is this a dark telling of a historical sports figure?
Neither.
Or is it just regular? Is it just Tiger Woods?
It's just
and
bad.
Everything we know.
Look, as a documentarian video maker,
sure.
If you go to the YouTube Swingman page, you can see for yourself. But it's just bad. Like number one, it's like the first part is an hour and a half long.
Uh-huh.
And it like they can get away with all of the information in 40 minutes.
Right.
It was just bad. Like it wasn't good.
Like it was like a B movie, or it was
terrible
content.
Both. Are you gonna watch it? Should I just do some spoilers?
Yeah, spoil it because I don't want to pay to watch HBO.
So you just go to my house and watch it. Nobody's there.
I'm not gonna drive to your house
to watch 3 hours of nothing. Exactly. I'm not
gonna drive to watch about Tiger Woods.
So spoilers. Like
I will drive to your house to conduct a siege of your property.
There's nobody. There's nobody in this documentary who has who doesn't have something to be angry about.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so the main
nobody who really likes Tiger Woods in there.
What?
There's nobody featured who really loves Tiger Woods.
No. It's like some guy and they're like, yeah, he's the family friend. And I'm like, I've never heard of this guy. He's never been around. It's the golf pro at the Navy golf course that Tiger learned to play golf at.
Right.
It's Tiger Woods' first high school / college girlfriend that he broke up with in a letter because
he had to focus on golf.
he's instead of coming home and seeing his parents, he spent the night with her.
Right.
So he's like, oh, I'll be home on Saturday, but he left class early on Friday, spent the night with his girlfriend, and then got home the next day, and his parents like lost it. And it wasn't like, oh, you're being irresponsible. It was like, if you get this girl pregnant, like, you can kiss being an amazing historical figure goodbye.
Answer me this. Is the Tiger documentary more bashing of Tiger Woods or Earl Woods? Because I can assume I've read not reviews, but takes, if you will. Brandel Chambly.
So number one, there's nothing that I didn't know beforehand.
Okay.
There's nothing new in it. Like, the weirdest bit really is like, and you can sort of watch this in the trailer, but at Tiger Woods' Haskins Awards, when he wins the Haskins Award at Stanford University, his dad gets up there and is like, my son is the second coming.
Okay.
Like, he's so good at golf that he is going to unite all the nations underneath the 18th hole golf flag at St. Andrews.
It's a bit of a stretch.
And he put that pressure on Tiger. But in the background, like, this is a deeply flawed man. He was a he was in Vietnam, and his job was like to go into enemy territory and like blow up their hideouts, their forts, their bases, like while people were inside.
I know.
Like,
Earl Woods had to see some things that no people should have ever seen, and do some things that no people should have to do, but do have to do.
Yeah. So I think this was like everybody who's in the documentary are people who it looked like didn't get to go on the Tiger Woods ride. So it's like the pro at the Navy base. He was the assistant pro. He became really good friends with Earl Woods. And Earl Woods became an assistant, like, teaching pro at the naval base. And, like, what is the skeeziest thing about this? Like, what is the skeeziest thing about any profession? What's the skeeziest thing you could do as a human being?
Nepotism.
No. Keeping a Winnebago in the parking lot at work so that you can be with other women.
Oh, no.
Who you're not married to.
That I didn't know.
Spoiler. While having your son on the practice green a few hundred yards away.
Ew. That's skeezy.
Like, they would, like, he was like, yes. Like, the main... Like, I think the hard-hitting thing, it wasn't news to anybody that Earl Woods was unfaithful to his wife.
Right.
Like, I think that's sort of like, when it came out that Tiger Woods was so unfaithful to Elin, I think a lot of people made that connection immediately.
Right.
I'm
not sure Earl Woods ever had his headlights smashed out with golf clubs.
No, and I also don't, like... So, like, to me, like, the most interesting bit is, like, so Tiger Woods signs with Nike and he starts becoming this massive, massive brand. And his dad, who was, like, at every tournament, stopped being at tournaments because he would take girlfriends to tournaments and to public events. And he's like, I don't want my dad to sort of be this.
Right.
I don't want my dad to tarnish what I'm trying to do.
Sure.
As, like, a brand. Like, what was the Tiger and Earl brand with the Titleist hats and all, and signing with Nike and everything is sort of going out the window because, like, Earl's living the life.
Earl's living his dream.
Yeah, which is not a nice dream to most people, or it is, just not to me.
Not to most.
Not to most. No.
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 All right.
But yeah, so it's basically just like a lot of people who, they just come out of the woodwork, and it's like I said, it's like Earl's friend who didn't get to go on the ride, the assistant pro who doesn't come on the ride, Tiger's first girlfriend, Nick Faldo had a lot to say in it. It wasn't enough, it wasn't enough golf.
Mm-hmm.
When it was golf, it wasn't directly correlating to his life.
I see.
It was they sort of started with the US amateurs, and then they talk about him as a kid. And the whole thing is supposed to be basically like Earl put his son on a pedestal,
mm-hmm.
and because of that was a terrible father.
Sure.
Like, he set him up how to be golf's greatest player,
mm-hmm.
but he didn't set him up how to be a man, and he didn't set him up how to be in business, and he didn't do anything. Like, he just basically spent every day drilling golf into this kid's head.
Right.
And like, there was no like life work balance. It was just like, you're going to be the best golfer ever. And then when he became super famous, like, he didn't know how to handle being famous. But to be fair, I think he handled being famous better than most people.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, but I understand that he had like a very public breakup, and a lot of star professional athletes do.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that that's sort of what happens in the next. I think that's in the next bit. So that it's two parts. The first part finishes with Rachel Utchiter, or whatever her name is,
mm-hmm.
who was like his side hustle.
Right.
His Uber. Get your side hustle on. Is that what we're calling it?
His side piece.
His mistress.
His lady in the night.
His lady friend. And so like, she's
Tiger Woods was double dipping.
That's how they tease it. That's how they tease it, which is like, she's like the last 30 seconds, and it's like, she like sits down and it's like, what do you want me to talk about? But before that, it is just going like, it's the whole Tiger Earl relationship, and it's not good. It just wasn't. It didn't appeal to me. It was slow. There was a lot of music that didn't need to be there.
Mood setters.
Stevie Williams was in it.
Oh.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's people who were there,
mm-hmm.
but very obviously aren't getting to finish the ride.
Right.
Like, sorry, mate, like, get off at this station.
This is your stop. I got to keep going.
Yeah. Like, if you're not going to keep up and we're not going to keep winning, like, I need a change.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's sort of what it seemed like everybody was. And
is there animosity between Stevie Williams and Tiger Woods?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Stevie Williams wrote that book about him.
I didn't read it.
Nobody did.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Nobody would read a book that I wrote either. So
no,
I can relate.
No. I've written 3 books. You guys don't even know about it.
I'm in the process of writing a book.
Good.
Called What It's Like to Host a Podcast When Your Camera Doesn't Work.
Yes. But no, so yeah, so Stevie Williams was the whole Tiger Slam.
Yes.
So like, first in like the late 90s, it was Fozzie.
I'm missing 2 bobbleheads. If anybody wants to hook me up with the bobbleheads, help me out. Point me in the right direction.
What bobbleheads?
There's a whole series of Tiger Slam bobbleheads.
Oh, okay.
And I have the Masters and the Open. But I don't have the PGA Championship or the US Open. And I want them reasonably priced.
Are they not?
Sometimes no.
Oh. These are like $10.
Oh man. Send me the link. Anyways. Tiger Slam, Stevie Williams.
I've got a set of 4 different ones.
Shut up.
For 40 quid.
No, I don't spend quid. I save my quid. Find me something in dollar bills.
I'm going to get all 4, and then I'm going to get them before you. I'm going to put them behind me.
Oh, this animosity, folks. Now put some...
Because they're on eBay.
Do we have some upset music?
That's I'm not allowed to spend that money.
I'm bummed. Can I tell you why I'm really upset that our camera doesn't work?
Why?
I got new glasses.
I thought you got new glasses. I was going to ask you about that.
I did. I got brand new glass. I got two
Yeah.
pairs of glasses. I do have a free plug Oakley pair of glasses that are my daily.
Send us some.
Oakley, shout out.
Yeah. Okay. So the end of the Tiger documentary, I'm going to watch the next one that comes out on Sunday. Okay. I'm not impressed.
Tell me how it goes.
Just not impressed.
I'm not going to watch it.
I might just send you to like my Xfinity HBO Go thing so you can just watch it.
If you send me the password to HBO Go, I will watch it.
Yeah. I might just do that.
I used up my free trial. I watched Veep, the whole thing. And then I was like, I ain't messing with this anymore.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus. That's good. I can agree with that. Good on you.
Yeah, because I was like, well, I saw the first 2 seasons on Amazon Prime, and there was like, you need to get HBO Go.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I'll do the free week trial, and it only took me 2 days to finish it because I binge watched.
Yeah.
And
I'm so proud of you.
And it was the best. It was one of the best things I've ever watched. So I'm out of free trials.
I think we should make spoons out of corn. I think we should. I think that's a thing.
All right. We have to move on. We have to get to these 2 tournaments. The news is jam-packed this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna, like I said, I might do a segment next week just on the documentary. I might just send you the link, and because I think we should rant about it.
We could do a special episode just about the documentary. I mean,
well, I just did that. This has just been that.
Yeah, that what I'm saying is we can do stuff, special. We can do reviews of these things. What I'm saying is Tiger Woods' life isn't glamorous. Okay, we all know that.
What?
It's glamorous now, but
you seen his boat?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Now it's glamorous.
Look, I think your life is what you make it.
My life is glamorous as well.
I don't think anybody could have expected the amount of fame that he was going to get, like, out of the gates, like, as it was happening. I don't think like that. Like, I don't think anybody knew that was going to happen.
No.
But I think because it's golf, like, there's not that camaraderie of like, okay, like, this is how we stay together. I think there is now because all these guys are making so much money and there's other people. But in the early 90s and in the late 90s and early 2000s, when Tiger Woods was just like $100 million Nike deal and things like that.
Right.
Like, the only person that he can relate to is Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan was the man.
But Michael Jordan was like, it's the NBA where like he had to rise up through the ranks and get those contracts.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, even LeBron James had to have like rookie contracts in Cleveland.
As a high schooler, stop.
All right.
LeBron James is trash. I don't mean, I'm just saying it. I don't mean it.
JR agrees with you. Coach Joe agrees with you.
Coach J is my guy.
All right.
We're soulmates. And
speaking of Coach J, that's the wrong thing.
It's time for us to put down our bag and hear from our sponsors.
Did you hear that, Coach J? Coach Joe, JR?
JR, Coach J.
Coach J, LeBron is trash.
Trash LeBron. I really don't mean that.
I really like LeBron. I think he's going to be good in Space Jam too.
LeBron is not trash, and Coach J secretly agrees with that.
I want to know who the new Monstars are going to be. I want to know that.
Oh, same. I've got it. Kyrie Irving.
Yes.
Yep.
Mike Miller.
Breaking news. James Harden has been traded to the Brooklyn Nets. That's 14 minutes ago. So at 4:44 on January 13th, 2021,
you heard it here first.
James Harden has been traded to the Brooklyn Nets in a blockbuster
Speaking of
deal.
hearing things first, did you know when you get a hearing aid from Beltone Hearing Aid Centers of New Jersey, BeltoneJerseyShore.com, you can hear for the first time.
I love the new website.
Love the new website. You can give them a phone call, 732-888-9000. Use the code word golf. Get a free hearing test. You may get a single free battery if you use the code word golf.
Shut up.
Yeah, a single, just one.
Batteries are
not a battery pack, just one battery.
Yeah, but those batteries, I mean.
And not a rechargeable one.
Yeah, but those batteries, I mean, they can get expensive. So we're just helping you out.
They're like
I mean,
50 cents each.
It's not JR's fault. It's not Coach J's fault that the battery companies are trying to swindle everybody because they need their stuff to work.
Oh, you want to hear your loved ones? Here's a pocket of electricity that we're going to put inside of your hearing aid. All right. So if you need a hearing aid, go to BelltoneJerseyShore.com, 732-888-9000. Call Coach Joe. Use the code word golf. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. And back to the show.
Wait.
Pre-recorded.
Wait.
What?
I just have to make this clear. If you call 732-888-9000, use the promo code golf if Coach J doesn't answer the phone. Because if he answers the phone, there is a chance he'll be like, I'm not dealing with this funny business. I just wanted to make that clear. Like, use the promo code golf first, and
you should call Coach Joe,
and then say, we should call Coach Joe on the show.
What are you doing right now?
I'm not doing anything right now. I'm recording a podcast with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that I'm with you.
What are you doing
right
now?
What do you mean? What am I doing right now? I'm sitting. I have a light in my face that I don't even know why it's on because my camera doesn't work.
Why doesn't your camera work?
You know why it doesn't work? Because it's a great camera on a bad laptop.
It is a bad laptop. Let's see if Coach Joe answers.
Are you calling the store?
Oh, should I call the store?
Yes. 732-888-9000.
You think he'll get mad if I can't call the store. I'm not in Virginia.
We're in an ad.
I can't call the store.
He did have some hot takes about Bryson DeChambeau last time. So
he's always got hot takes.
Can you hear me or no?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a no. Oh, he can.
He can hear you. You use the code word golf.
Golf.
He's probably with an old person. He's ignoring us.
What's up?
Golf.
What?
Golf.
We're using the promo code golf.
I like that promo code golf.
We like your new website, BelltoneJerseyShore.com.
Yeah, we dig that.
Oh, that's good. Are we doing the podcast right now?
You're on the podcast right now.
We're in the middle of an ad.
Well, it's about time.
What is your hearing aid product of choice?
Oh, well, the newest ones are the Imagine. They're absolutely wonderful. You can connect them wirelessly to the iPhone, to the iPad. It gives you incredible flexibility and control over what you're hearing and the environments that you're hearing them in.
I can only imagine how good they are.
But more importantly, I understand that Harden just made. He's on the. I think
he just got traded to the Nets.
That's what I just said.
I hate veer off. I hate the veer off golf, but he just got traded to the Nets for like 3 first-round picks and 3 first-round trades until 2026.
He's got no championships.
Look, Coach J.
He might not have any championships, but from what I understand, Tiger Woods was traded to the Rockets as part of the package.
This is so good. So Gunner just told me this. Gunner just told me that Harden, and I said, let's start the ad saying, you heard it here first.
Yeah, we opened the ad with the Harden trade after talking about Tiger Woods. So this is beautiful. I'm all about this. This is the universe.
But if I could also say that that Kyrie Irving has been stomping his feet and hasn't played without any reason why since last Wednesday.
Well, we were discussing this as well. We think Kyrie Irving's going to get traded to the Monstars in Space Jam 2.
This is full circle.
I think Kyrie Irving is back for tonight's game.
Yeah,
because he doesn't want to look. He doesn't want to look. You know, like who's the biggest crybaby on the tour?
LeBron James.
This is the best golf podcast about basketball.
So, and not only that, but from what I understand, starting this coming Wednesday, there's going to be reduced rates at all the Trump golf courses around the country.
Number one, you also know who the biggest crybaby on tour is.
Who is?
You love saying his name.
It's Bryson DeChambeau.
Is Chauvenet? What's his name?
No, not
Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah, Bryson DeChambeau.
Is he the biggest crybaby on tour?
Yeah, he's got
100%.
the roid rage.
He's got the roid cries.
Oh, that's true.
He's
That's
terrible.
different than crybaby. That's like
He yelled at a
what's his
cameraman
name
for
from
filming him while he was playing golf.
The damn
that's
PGA
where you want
Tour.
privacy on the tour, right? That's why I understand there's nobody, no spectators on tour anymore because they want privacy.
Yeah.
I think that's why, right?
Yeah, that's exactly why.
I love this.
I'm on a podcast. I'm on the Swingdom podcast right now. So Uncle Steve is here, and just to go along with the
Has he played at Trump Bedminster?
No, but Uncle Steve has a 35. Uncle Steve has a 35 handicap. Just so we just know with the rest of you guys. Have you played at Trump's golf course? I'm making a bid on Trump's golf course. He's bidding on Trump's golf course.
He's got to sell all the assets. That's what it is.
Uncle Steve has 2 Bitcoins, and he thinks it's worth more than the golf course now.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
Makes sense. So what's the subject matter this week? We have golf this weekend.
So yes, we were talking about the Trump golf course earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We've got golf this week. They're playing at Waialae. It's the second tournament of the new year, so you can imagine because it's the second weekend. It is not as star-studded as you imagine. It's like that second field of players.
Mm-hmm.
That's because they don't have big purses, right?
No, I think it's like a $7 million purse instead of a $10 million purse.
Yeah, I wouldn't play for it either.
Yeah, it's the Sony Open. You'd think Sony would have enough money to make it a $10 million purse in Hawaii, where everybody's on vacation anyway.
Sony's broke.
But I think the reason it's a low purse is because the winner gets a date with Mariah Carey.
Gets a date with Mariah Carey.
I think that's it.
Nick Cannon's ex-wife.
That's a Sony deal. Yeah.
That's a Sony deal.
That's a thing. That's what Sony does.
That's what Sony does.
Okay.
I don't know.
So are you guys at least staying away from personal experiences and talking mostly about golf this time, hopefully?
Well, yeah, except this is our hearing aid commercial. We've been talking to you for 10 minutes now.
Good. And I'm going to start putting you in more of my ads. We're going to try to make this worldwide.
Oh, so I told people if they use the code word golf, you'd give them a single free battery.
Is that doable?
You can actually, if they use the code word golf, I will give them a package of batteries.
What? Wow.
Oh,
Big spend in Coach Joe.
That's a full $8 value.
Absolutely. Oh yes, we're worth $8.
If anybody in the tri-state area of New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania listens to this,
I will honor it no matter what bell tone they go to around the country.
I'm just saying you will also give people a free hearing test, which has a value of up to $500.
I agree. That's very true, especially the ones I give.
Yes.
They're so fast. Nobody's wasting any time at all.
Nope.
In and out, done.
They're of a value of whatever number you feel like making up.
Exactly right.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thanks for the call.
Have fun with Uncle Steve. We'll call you. We'll call you next Wednesday for next week's commercial.
And I'll be a little more prepared. I apologize.
No, it's fine. We love calling and talking about basketball on our golf podcast.
Goodbye.
All right. Bye. Talk to you later.
Yep. Bye.
So that's our commercial. Back to the show.
And now to your hosts, Ben Ridner and Gunnar Kane.
I'm sweating so hard from that. I was so afraid he was going to say something terrible.
Hands down the best Beltone ad we've ever done.
It's 15 minutes. Of course it was.
15 minutes of basketball talk.
Would you like to tell us about your hearing aids? Yes, the Imagine hearing aid is fantastic. By the way, James Harden is moving to Brooklyn.
How perfect is it that we segued.
So full circle.
It was so awesome.
So full
we
circle.
Segued from Tiger Woods to James Harden trade, because that was breaking news, and all he wanted to talk about was James Harden being traded, and that's why you buy Beltone hearing aids.
Yeah, that's why you listen to the Swingdom.
I absolutely love that.
All right, so you want to go over what happened last week?
Yeah, last week we had a golf tournament. It was the Century Tournament of Champions.
I love that 12th hole down the hill.
Oh, it's so gorgeous.
Yeah.
I want to tell you though that you thought you were going to gain ground on my picks.
I didn't.
However, I make such good picks.
You do.
Such good picks that you didn't stand a chance, Ben.
I almost stood a chance.
You didn't though.
Well, you know what?
Because
I'm gonna get some Tiger
sucks.
Woods bobbleheads.
Dustin Johnson did exactly what I thought was going to happen and stink.
Pooped the bed.
He did all right. Top 20. That's fine.
Well, there's only 40 players.
That makes it worse.
He was in the top half. He made top 20, which is also just the top half.
I don't even have my numbers because they're on my other computer. But let me tell you, Century Tournament of Champions, we picked, this is part of the Hawaiian swing. Yes. Let me break down our picks. Ben picked Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, and Patrick Cantlay with a long shot of Richie Werenski.
Yeah.
Top 20, you said. And no Albatross scored. Shame on you. I picked John Rahm, Xander Schauffele, and our boy, Bryson DeChambeau. My long shot was Lanto Griffin, top 5, and there would be an Albatross. Guess how this played out? Give me top 5s around the board.
You killed me.
I crushed it. Now, Lanto Griffin tied for 13th, I think. I don't even have it. I don't have my computer. I missed the long shot, and I don't believe there was an Albatross.
No, there was not. No.
Now's your time to be honest with me. Was there?
No. First of all, I want to thank Golf Numbers on Instagram for making his picks. Xander Schauffele, Justin Thomas, Patrick Reed, with his long shot being Harris English. So he also sort of killed us, but that's fine. He actually picked everybody we picked except for Patrick Reed, who nobody picked.
Right. I mean, I love when other people bring in their picks.
I love it.
Because we actually add the picks to our chart.
Yeah.
To see who won.
Yeah.
So if you give us your picks, I'll add it to my board. I do that.
Golf Numbers long shot was the winner, which is amazing. Let's just say it how it is. Harris English. How do you say his name?
Harris's English is fine.
Okay, so this was his first win in 7 years.
Yes. He's come close.
Yeah, he's come close a few times. I didn't realize that because it was a shortened season last year, that to fill out the field, they just brought in everybody who made it to the Tour Championship.
Yes.
So like Harris English didn't win last year.
No.
Because otherwise he would have won last year and not 7 years ago.
Harris English wins in a playoff against Joaquin Niemann, our guy. Yeah, it's pretty good. Although Joaquin Niemann spent the entire time waiting to find out if he had to play in a playoff, hanging out with Sergio Garcia and his wife. So instead of, practicing. So, who knows? Maybe if he practiced, he would have won. But that's your Century.
Are people mad about that? That he was like hanging out with her?
The problem is that he didn't take it too seriously. He was just hanging out.
I think you've got to keep it loose.
Sure. Yeah, but I mean,
you've already played.
Right. I'm with you. I'm
72
just saying,
holes of golf.
Typically, a player going into a playoff would practice a bit more. while waiting. Stay loose and warm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he was in the putting green. You're not like, are you going to go to the driving range?
Some do, some do, some don't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying the thing that's being said. But that is your Century Tournament of Champions breakdown. I gained 200 points because all my players went in the top 5. Dustin Johnson broke top 20. Justin Thomas, a solo third place finish. He is so good in Hawaii, despite his vocal infraction. And Patrick Cantlay tied with Dustin Johnson, I think, at top. I think they were both T13. So you hit on the no albatross, and Richie Wierenski was T24, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's
like, this is the thing, right? Joaquin Niemann hits a 64 on Sunday.
Yeah.
I think it's low round of the day.
I mean, he tore it up.
Like, I just sort of think, like, if that's, like, if you hit a 64, number one, you still, like, he still parred 18. Harris English had to birdie it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think anybody should be giving anybody, like, the extra holes could go either way.
Right.
A million times out of a million.
Right.
Like, Harris English is a missed 15-footer away from not, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's more on Harris English for making a birdie on a hard par 4 than it is for Joaquin Niemann parring it. Like, he went out there and he did what he was supposed to do.
Right. All right. Let's go to the Sony Open real quick.
The Sony Open!
Sony Open at Waialae Country Club in Honolulu, Hawaii. Fun fact about the Sony Open.
Yes.
Only logo on the PGA Tour to include a pineapple. So that's your fun fact for the day.
I love that there's a W at, I think is it 2 or is it 18?
I believe it's 2.
I think it's where it's the palm trees make a big letter W for Waialae. Waialae.
Waialae.
Waialae.
I figured out how to say it. This is part of the Hawaiian Swing, Boom Shakalaka.
Yep.
So
this is the last event of the Hawaiian Swing, isn't it?
I think there's one more.
Okay.
I think there's one more. Let me check the schedule. Yep, it's the last one. Then they go to California for the American Express.
Where they're worried about the COVID restrictions there, but we're going to get into that next week.
See how they handled it. Yeah, so this is if last week was your second round players, this is your third round players. This is your bench to the bench. With Jim Furyk and Keegan Bradley and Colin Morikawa's in there, Webb Simpson, Daniel Berger. So
this is the second tier, guys.
I would say 2.5 tier. How about that?
Colin Morikawa won. He won a major this year.
You don't have to agree with me.
I don't agree with you. I think these are the guys who are fighting to make it into the Tour Championship. I don't think these are the guys who are fighting for their cards.
All right. Well, you ready to make some picks?
I'm ready to make some picks. Either that or they're just there. You might be right. This what'd you say, 2.5?
Yeah.
Which is basically, it's the guys who played last weekend are sticking around to play this weekend because it's money in the bank, and everybody else is fighting for their tour card.
Right.
Okay. I see what you mean by 2.5, and I can agree with you.
All right. Who goes first?
You go first. I went first last time.
Webb Simpson. Boom shakalaka.
I knew you were going to go Webb Simpson. This is a short course. Par 70, 6,800 yards.
He's so good.
He's so good at short courses.
He is also so good after breaks. So give me Webb Simpson. That's who I'm taking.
Fine. I am going. You said Webb Simpson?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot. You just want to make your next pick? There are too
Not
many guys,
really.
but I'm going with somebody who played really well last week. There's two guys I want to pick. I'm hoping you don't pick either one of them, but of the two that I think you're most likely to pick, I'm going with Sung J Im.
I wasn't gonna pick Sung J-M, but I appreciate that pick. He is so consistent.
He showed up last weekend.
And with the short course, hey.
Yeah, it's not going to be too dissimilar in terms of conditions, but it is a shorter course.
Right. And hey, he's going to be one to watch for sure.
Yeah.
The next guy I'm going to go with played really well last week as well.
Can I guess?
And I think really found his footing, took it seriously. Just like you had said, was out there taking it seriously. Go ahead and guess.
No, I'm not going to guess. You just tell me.
Harris English.
Oh, okay.
We're going back.
We're going back to back.
We're going to the well.
I like that.
Ride with the ones who brought you there, Ben.
Yep.
We're going Harris English.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I am going with one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
Played really well last week.
Uh-huh.
Top 10.
Uh-huh.
Dan, the Burger Van Man Burger.
I knew it. Dan, the Burger Man. I think he does have a shot. I don't have anything bad to say about him, but fingers crossed that he falls outside the top 20 for the points reasons.
I hope not.
I'm just telling you.
It's a short course. It's a short course. I'm going with my short course guys.
I'm going to go with a guy who did not play last week. He actually did play last week. He didn't play very well, but this is a redemption story. I believe last in the field is, if I would not be mistaken there, last in the field, was that Hideki Matsuyama?
Yeah, he was bottom 3.
Yeah. So he's going to be top 1. Hideki Matsuyama is your boy.
So it's not a bad pick. He just doesn't do that.
He doesn't do that, but
do that. Like, you can't change it now.
Ben.
You said it, but he's a guy who, like, he comes in waves. He doesn't. He's not a straight striker. You put me in an awkward position because there are two guys I want to pick.
Go for it.
I was hoping you were going to pick both of them, but since you're not, I'll just pick both of them.
You pick one.
I'm going to go with Abraham Answer and Joaquin Neiman.
It doesn't work that way.
All right, then I'm going to go with Abraham Answer.
All right.
Short course, killed it last year. Did really well last week.
He did do very well last week.
Like, you know what I mean? Other guys to look out for then is going to be Joaquin Neiman. Colin Morikawa's in the field. You've got Cameron Smith, second or third place at the Masters.
Yep.
Other guys to keep a lookout for are going to be Zach Johnson, Adam Scott. I think it's just going to be fun. I think it's just going to be a good old fun day.
All right, you ready for the long shot?
Yeah.
All right, here's my long shot. Vijay Singh, top 15.
My long shot is Harris English back-to-back.
That's such a terrible. What are you doing?
What?
All right, English wins.
Is that not okay?
That's fine, I guess.
That's hilarious.
It is hilarious. How about a prop bet?
I'll
give you mine. A player over the age of 35 wins.
Oh, that's good. I'm going to go with I want to go with something ridiculous. I want to go with something ridiculous. I hope I don't win.
Say something crazy.
8 scores. So 2 scores a day averaging. Over 80.
I would love it. 8 scores over 80. I'm in.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. If the weather comes in and does something crazy, it might happen. But it's a par 70 course, so it's backwards 59 watch, isn't it? 10 under. Can they do it? Can they do it? Does 80 count, or does it have to be over 80?
No, 80 or 80 plus.
80 plus. Okay. Yeah. So reverse 59. That sounds dirty.
I love it. All right. That's the Sony Open preview.
That's the Sony Open, yeah. Par 70, short course, beautiful Hawaii. Gonna see if I can watch as much of it as I can.
Par 70 trash. But it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be
Is
fun.
Justin Thomas the defending champion?
No, I think someone weird. Is it Justin Thomas?
I don't know.
Making me check my phone.
Check the phone. I don't know.
Hold on, I'm getting there. Cameron Smith is the defending
Cameron
champion.
Smith, that's right. That was his first win, correct?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, purse is only 6,600,000, so that's why not everybody's there.
Yep. Can't buy the big players without the big money.
Yeah. I was
going to
say,
put
actually,
up the money.
Should I
Come on.
change my long shot so it's not the same as yours?
I already recorded it, so it's okay.
Okay. I was going to say, the other one is I know Russell Henley won here 4 years ago.
I'll give you one chance to change.
I was just going to say, Russell Henley top 10.
Do you want that?
Yeah.
Or do you want...
I shouldn't pick the same thing as you. I know it's funny. But, my long shot is going to be Russell Henley.
All right. There it is. That's your Sony Open preview.
That's your Sony Open preview. I'm gonna try to get you onto my Xfinity so you can watch this thing. We might do a bonus episode. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Swingdom. We appreciate it every time you do. Don't forget you can send us an email through the website, theswingdompodcast.com. You can reach out to us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Don't forget to check out all those platforms. And we'll catch you next week. Thank you so much for listening.
Swing them out.
Swing them out.
You've been listening to The Swingdom. Remember, we're just two guys, 28 clubs, 0 putts given.
I can't believe I talked about the mermaid for 2 minutes.
I can.